What's up, everybody? It's Nesquik, aka Kid Kupo with Kupokast. Just want to let you know about Anchor real quick. It's free. The creation tools are so helpful and allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. They also distribute your podcast to Apple, Spotify, and so many other places. You can make money with your podcast and you don't need any minimum listeners or fans. It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Check it out. Pokemon and World of Warcraft, and of course our very own Midgar, Sector 7 Slums, SevGwen. Please welcome Danielle McRae.
Hello. Nice to talk to you.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on. As soon as you were just fantastic to talk to. A lot of voice actors are very you have to go through their agents and stuff, and you're just very down to earth and just very positive and just nice to talk to. I really appreciate you.
Yeah. I understand people go through the agents to have to be on podcasts, but it's just something that I never really wanted to do. Like I'm very approachable when it comes to podcasts, so I'm really happy to be a part of this one.
Yeah, it's not anything I have anything against. It's just you're just very I don't know. I don't know something about you. I just get a good vibe from you. So we'll just like I said, I didn't know you were in Pokemon and League of Legends. Those are two of my, besides Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, those are two of my big fandoms. I played hours and hours on League of Legends, and I've probably dumped your characters a couple times. So I apologize about that because I'm a Darius main.
But that's okay. That is okay.
But we'll probably talk mostly about Final Fantasy tonight.
Awesome.
Just because I live and breathe Final Fantasy. So,
I feel you.
she's played Gwen in the Sector 7 Slums. We did a couple of missions for her. So I know we talked briefly. You said that you were a big Final Fantasy. Is Final Fantasy 7 or did you like the other Final Fantasies?
Well, Final Fantasy 7 was the first Final Fantasy I started off with, and then I went a little bit to 5. I never played 6, but I want to try and get on that soon since we're in quarantine mode. But after I played 7 and I went back to 5, I went to 8 and I kept going ever since then. So it went from 7, 5, and then 8, 9, 10, and then so on, and 14, 15, and then soon to be 16.
Nice. We're gonna have a good conversation. I can feel. I absolutely love Final Fantasy V. Actually, Squall from 8 and Bards are my favorite main characters. Bards
Awesome.
5. I absolutely love 5. How are you with the music? Do you like the Final Fantasy? Because I love the Final Fantasy music. Nobuo Uematsu is probably one of my favorite composers in not even the gaming world, but just all music together.
I love the music in Final Fantasy. I love it in 7, the original OG 7. I loved it, and I love the remake one too. But I just love Final Fantasy music in general. Something nostalgic about it, and there's something kind of comforting about it, especially when you go into certain towns and you hear their music, and it's I can kind of feel at home here with this song playing in the background.
Exactly. That was my thing. That's because my first Final Fantasy was actually Mystic Quest, but I didn't know it as a Final Fantasy. I only knew it as Mystic Quest.
Ooh.
And I played the demo of Final Fantasy VII, and I was born in '88, so I didn't really understand how to really play it. But what drove it to me was I felt like I was able to have this character. I always named him Nick because that's my name, and I always just felt like I was in their shoes, and I felt very. I never understood how to really describe it, but very comforted, to be in these towns, these. I never could really put it into words. It was just something I couldn't explain. This feeling that no other game besides Dragon Quest and maybe the Elder Scrolls was able to give me, just to be able to take up the mantle of this character and just be in his shoes and just the music and the environments and all these other characters that you meet in this world that they put you in. It was just something just not otherworldly, but just something that like it's just very rare with some games, because you could tell Squaresoft that when they were Squaresoft, they put all their heart into this. And with the remake, I got the same feeling, and I was so happy about that.
I agree. Before I played the 7 remake, I wanted to kind of refresh myself, because I played OG 7 like 6-7 times now, and I wanted to play OG Final Fantasy 7 before I went into remake, and a lot of things I forgot about when I played for like, I think it was the 7th time I played. So I played for the 7th time on my PS4, and then when the remake came out, I just wanted to kind of refresh myself, and when I played the remake, it's like, I remember this happened, this is different. The wall market stuff, I love that. It was my favorite chapter in that entire game.
I love the wall market. A lot of people don't. I don't understand. A lot of people don't like the Midgar section. The Midgar section is probably my favorite part of the entire game. Besides when you're going up Mount Coral, and as Holding My Thoughts in My Heart's playing in the background, and you're just running up the paths before you even get to the bridge, and the sun's shining down on you, and then you get to the bridge, and it's just like the scenery and the music is just, it's just like this heart gripping like emotion that it just, like I said, I can't put it into words. It's just this feeling that, like I said, no other game in well, other Final Fantasy given it to me, but like no other game franchise besides the other ones I named, like Dragon Quest in particular, really give me. So how did you come to get lucky and actually get to voice a character in the remake? You must have been so excited.
I was super excited. So I worked with the company that did this. I guess the dubbing company was Skylark Sound Productions, so Skylark Studios. And I did a project with them beforehand. It was called Phantom Gate, and it was like a mobile RPG. And yeah, it was pretty fun. I need to finish it. It's a lot of fun. So then this is before Phantom Gate, before I worked on that, the casting director over there, I was talking to her a little bit about when the first FF7 remake commercial came out, when it said remake, the very first one.
Yeah,
I approached
David Lodge, I believe.
Yes. I approached her studio and I asked, like, I don't know if you guys are working on it, but if you are, would it be possible if I could kind of apply to be on your audition list? And this was like when the first trailer came out. And she said, I can't really promise you anything, but I'll let you know if we have anything upcoming for auditions for this game. And she didn't know at the time that she was going to work on it. And last year I heard back from her, and it was like October, and she responded to the same email that I sent her when I was asking to audition for this game, if there's any possibility for that. And she literally let me know, like, hey, we want you to come in for this AAA game, come and record, not even auditions, come record for us. And she didn't let me know what the game title was. So she just kept saying AAA games, like, that could be anything. And so then I came in. I said, yes, I can come in. She said, we'll come in this day, this time. I said, okay. So I came in about a week later, and then I went to record. And the director I was working with, he was really awesome and friendly. He was just kind of walking me through this game. He was telling me, like, you know, do you know of anything Final Fantasy related? He's like, yes, I do. And I was trying to hold the fangirl back, because when it comes to Final Fantasy, the fangirl comes out pretty damn strong. So, I had to try to keep myself professional and cordial. Like, oh yeah, I'm working with it. And inside I was just kind of like bursting with excitement. And so they showed me a picture of the character that I was voicing, and they were saying that she was an NPC, and when they gave me the picture of her, she looked a bit different than she did in the game. Like, she had like this cute little braid to the side of her hair, and her jacket was a little bit different. But she still looks pretty cool in the game. And they still didn't tell me, like, what I was actually recording for. They just mentioned Final Fantasy related, so I thought, okay, this is probably a game that kind of resembles Final Fantasy in a way, but the art style looks very Final Fantasy-ish. So when I go into the booth and I look at my script, there are two names that stuck out to me, and I almost kind of had a little panic attack in the booth. I saw Shinra and Tifa, and I'm like, oh no, they're not. They are not doing this. And so I was trying to keep it professional, was recording the entire time, and then and I saw Cloud too. I saw Cloud's name. I was like, okay, this is definitely Final Fantasy. What else could this possibly be at this point? And we were recording for about a good 2.5 hours. After we'd been recording, I signed paperwork, like NDA and stuff, and then I went into the bathroom in the studio, cried for about like an hour, just in the stall, like, did I actually do this? And then when the game came out, I kept psyching myself out saying, I don't know, they probably recast me at this point. Because I have this weird thing, if I get cast for certain things, my brain automatically tells me, oh, you probably got recast in this or that. And no, it was actually my voice and then my name attached to the credits, and I got really emotional when this game came out.
You shouldn't have. I mean, it's probably like me when I was very like sketchy and worried like when I first started the we're only like 3 months in and we're almost to 700 downloads so far.
Oh, and, nice! Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. And Final Fantasy, I live and breathe Final Fantasy, so like having you is like a dream come true on my podcast. Like a couple years ago, I was in a bad time. You know, I was going couch to couch, and like I finally I'm on my feet. I'm getting my life together and stuff like that now. And it's like, dude, these doors are opening for me. Like I never I felt possible. Like so, like being able to talk to you and some of the other people I had on the podcast is like so life changing. And like I just want to really thank you so much for coming on. It means so much to me because Final Fantasy is just like literally like I live and breathe Final Fantasy. It's helped me. The music and just the games have helped me through some of the hardest times in my life. So,
I feel you. You're so welcome. I actually relate to that because when I was playing the FFVII, that game has a really special place in my heart because when I was playing that game, I was going through a really deep depressional episode. And when I was playing that game, something about it just kind of made me, like, kind of woke me up a bit and kind of made me think, oh my goodness, like, it was the quote that Zidane says, you don't need a reason to help people. Something about that resonated with me, and then the entire game just made its way into my heart in a special kind of way. And 7's the same way, too. Final Fantasy is one of those kind of titles where you kind of take something away from it. Like, either it's like a life lesson that you learn from the games, or it's just something that, you know, kind of, it's like an experience that you take some sort of experience away from those kind of titles.
Exactly. So, like, to me, they're more than games. They teach you, like, life lessons. I mean, they're not real, in a sense, they are kind of like real people, because people like you are giving them life, you know? And, they just add something to this world that we live in. They add, it's not just entertainment to me, and to probably all my fans feel like this. It gives this world something to, like, in this year, this is a terrible year, and this game that came out this year, I believe when it came out, April, they came out, I believe.
Yeah.
It's probably helped so many people.
It's a lot of my friends would, like, when I first announced that I was a part of this, and it's like a small part, but it's still a huge part of such a huge game. My friends were saying, you know, they would play this game, they played the original game, and they went through hard times when they played both the original, and then some of them, when they played the remake and both versions of this game, they just do things to people, like positive things to people, like they turn their life around and make them think, like, maybe I could do this, and it's not too late for me to do this in my life. There's just something uplifting about Final Fantasy.
It's in a disrespectful way, but what you just said, there is a small part of this game. There is no small part.
Okay, you're right. This is true. There is no small part.
No small part. You are a part of something that is in the hearts of so many people, and I'm probably going to thank you a bunch of times. So if you get tired of me, tired of me thanking you, just say you're welcome times 1,000, and I'll get you to stop.
Oh, don't even worry about it. It's A-okay.
So, who is your favorite character in? I mean, is 7 your favorite Final Fantasy, or?
7 is one of my favorites. So I have like a top tier 3 kind of Final Fantasy list. So far, 9 is number 1, and then 7 is number 2, and number 3 is surprisingly 10-2, just because of the dress spheres and Pain. I loved Pain a lot in there. But yeah, 7 is definitely one of my favorites.
10 is probably my favorite battle system.
Yes.
So 10-2, it just makes the battle system that much better. I actually go back and replay 10-2. The only Final Fantasy I really couldn't hold my attention was probably 13. In all the 13 series.
It was a long series.
There he goes, disconnecting. Brandon, are we all set? Are you still recording on your end?
Yep, still good on my end.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Alright, sorry about that.
No worries.
I'll just edit all that out. Sorry.
You're all good.
Trying to be professional. Where was I? 10-2. 13 was one that I really couldn't get into. And 12 I wasn't really a big fan of either, but I went back, I played 12, absolutely fell in love with it, and
Nice.
I honestly could say 1 through 10-2, and 12 and 15, I absolutely loved. I never played 11, which I really want to play. My buddy has a server actually that he invited me to, so if you'd like, I can send you an invite to the server and you can check it out.
Nice.
It's all free, and I can send you on Twitter if you like. And
is this for 11 or 14?
Fantasy 11.
Oh wow, yeah, I have never played 11. I played 14 religiously.
I need to play more.
Oh yeah, I think I know FF7 or FF14. They did have a letter from the producers, and they have this new patch coming out next month, and it's like maybe I should just stop my subscription and kind of come back.
That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
I need to renew my subscription, but I have so much backlog. Like I'm
right.
Like I've never. Have you ever played Legends of Dragoon?
Yes, I love Legend. I was like, oh, I love it. Okay, don't even get me started.
Please don't give me any. Please don't give me any stuff for this. I have never played it until recently.
Hey,
everybody.
I'm not going to give you anything for that, but I recommend you play it.
Rain's been giving me stuff for it. A bunch of my podcast co-hosts.
Oh,
and,
no.
I finally, because I love the Vita. I have all my Final Fantasy. Literally, I have Final Fantasy 1 through 10 on Vita, my Dissidias, and I got Chrono Trigger, which I just started playing.
Ooh.
I love Chrono Trigger. Oh, I love it. And Legend of Dragoon, I just started playing. I'm in love with it. Oh,
yeah, so you're going to love it even further when the story progresses. It's such an amazing game.
I'm Lavitz, right? I just got Lavitz. And, I love it. But I'm juggling that. I'm juggling the Digimon Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory. I have like 7 games I'm juggling right now.
Wow.
And, between Pokemon Sun, Pokemon Omega Ruby, I have just so many games I'm juggling. But I always manage to replay a Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those games where, like, after so long, you have to go back and play it. It's like, just revisit it.
I go back and play Final Fantasy 1 through 10, 2, 12, and 15. I probably go back and play once a year.
Awesome.
What games are you currently playing right now?
So I'm actually toggling through 3 games right now. There's like, it used to be 4 or 5, and now it's like a 3. So I'm toggling through. Thank you. So I'm toggling through Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and I love that game a lot so far. I know that game's getting a lot of hate, but I'm enjoying my time with it. I'm playing through Yakuza Like a Dragon, and that game, I did not expect to love that game as much as I do. And then Apex Legends, I kind of just go back and forth, and I kind of play that. But then again, I wouldn't really count that, because I kind of just, it's a game I kind of return to on and off.
It's pretty good with that. I haven't played a bit, but I used a robot.
Pathfinder, yeah.
But Valhalla, I love the Yakuza series, so I'm dying. It's like a dragon. It's called Like a Dragon, right?
Like a Dragon. It's so good.
Role-playing game, right? Like, it's like
yeah.
I need to play it. Oh, I need to play it. I love Yakuza, and mixing that with role-playing games. Oh man. It's
definitely a feel-good game. Like, this is actually the first time I played a Yakuza game, and I've gotten people telling me you should play the other games after you finish Like a Dragon. They're all so good.
They're fantastic. They have that Japanese type that Japanese like humor and like the whole aesthetic, I call it, the Japanese aesthetic. Like they have that wacky kind of humor that I love. That most of these animes have, and it's just so fantastic. But it's a beat 'em up, but it's so good. You should definitely I forget the Kazuya, I think his name is Azuma. I forget the main character name, but he's such a fantastic main character. He's so good. So you should definitely go. Kazuma Kira, I was right.
Awesome.
It's actually.
Oh, no worries. I'm the same. It's like if I'm forgetting something and it starts to bother me, I will go and fact check it. So I'm in the same boat.
So it's great. Like you're like, I'm a fan. I consider myself a big fan. You're like a fangirl. Like this is so awesome. Like this is awesome. I think. So are you a Pokemon fan? I mean, we'll probably just skip around since like. You're amazing.
No worries. Oh, thank you. I'm obsessed with Pokemon. I'm so obsessed with it.
Same. What's your favorite Pokemon?
So mine will always be Charmander, Charizard. I just had when I watched the anime first. Of course, I was playing the games, but like when I first saw like little Charmander's face, I'm like, this little guy, I can see myself liking him. And then when he evolved to Charizard, it's like, okay, I love you. So they're probably my favorite Pokemon of all time.
You have a favorite Pokemon game?
Oh my goodness. I liked Red. I liked, I played both X and Y. And currently I'm trying to, I finished up Pokemon Sword. But I need to play the DLC, and I'm trying to get all the Pokemon, so I'm just slowly trying to fill out that Pokedex.
Yeah. I like gold. Heart gold and Soul Silver are so expensive right now. People are selling for like over $150.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big handheld guy. I love that's why I love the Switch so much. The Switch is so
amazing.
Fantastic.
Right.
And I'm waiting for the PS5 to circulate and then come back around. Because I'm like, when they first come out, systems kind of, they're a little glitchy. So I'm waiting for a new round of PS5 and Xbox before I getting one. But it's funny you say that. I just picked up a Charmander Funko Pop. He's furry. Yeah.
Hey, nice.
It's called the Flocked Edition. He got that like little fuzziness.
Oh.
But I can never open my Funko Pops. Like I see people opening like collector stuff. Like I kind of like get this creepiness. Like I gotta open that. So I'm a collector.
Preserve it.
Yeah. So I'll admit I cried my eyes out at the end of. You ever play Crisis Core?
Oh, I actually haven't. I didn't play it, but I did watch, and I feel ashamed to say this, I watched all of Crisis Core on YouTube. And it's one of those things where I feel like I need to play it.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to play that one.
It's not bad, but I feel like some of the characters kind of don't fit a little bit. Like Genesis and Jill are kind of like, I don't know, they don't. If you go into you I don't know, you might feel differently, but they don't feel like they would fit the original story of Final Fantasy VII on PS1. They feel like they would be in like a different type of game. Kind of like, I don't know if you played Version Cerberus, like Deep Round, they feel like they should be in like a different type of game. Like, I love it, it's a great game, but it just feels like, I'm not sure. But,
it looks like they can have their own side story in a way.
Yeah, exactly. Like maybe a side thing, but like it's the overall arc of the entire series. They just feel like they feel like they should be maybe something else.
Right.
Who do you think you not connect? Maybe connect with and have traits with? Fantasy character.
No, you're good. You're good. I feel like it's a merge of two different ones that I find I kind of relate to. I would say Freya from FF9. I see her quite a bit. And then for 7, it's weird because I love both Tifa and Aerith or Aerith. So I can see both of those. Yes. Aerith is I loved her. When I played FF7 again, the original, I wanted to max everything out, like all of her all of her ults, everything before she got the can. And I got so depressed, and I'm like, this girl was so OP. How can you kill her like that first off? Like, how can you do this? Like, I got so emotional.
Exactly.
She was so good.
So how do you feel about the way they went with the ending? How do you feel about that? I'm very mixed on it. I'm just worried. I just hope they don't. I mean, if you're listening to this podcast, this Final Fantasy podcast, so you probably know what happens. I feel like her death drives the entire arc of everything after obviously that happens. You know, it's the whole meaning and drive for the characters to go and defeat Sephiroth, who is my favorite character in anything of all time.
He's good. He's so good.
Even though I love Aerith, it's kind of a love-hate relationship. But I love him. But it just, I'd kind of be upset if they keep her alive, you know? Just because it just, that and if Zack's alive, that's just a little, it's just a little too much. I mean, I love to get, it's just, I won't know how to feel. I guess I'll have to get used to it. How do you,
So I'm in the same boat. When I first saw the ending, it didn't rub me the right way. I was like, this is way too different. And then I played the game again on my hardcore mode, watched the ending again. It's like, you know what? This is still kind of a weird transition to the next part, but I think it's one of those things where it's like, it's definitely an acquired taste for this kind of ending. But I think when I saw it again, I'm like, I kind of appreciate it a bit more. But I'm wondering what's going to happen with Zack and Aerith going forward. So in a way, I'm still kind of mixed about it, but I'm also kind of excited to see where they're going to go with this.
Yeah, what I'm wondering is, do Sephiroth and Aerith know what happened? Like, is it like the whole meta thing where they actually know what's going to happen or know what happened in the original game? Is that like, see, it's like so confusing.
Yeah.
I talked to a few people and they think that's the direction they're going, where they actually know that Sephiroth knows he's already defeated, or he'll be defeated, and Aerith knows that she'll pray with the White Materia to stop the meteor from the Black Materia, and her demise will come from that.
I feel like they both know a little something. I know there was one line that Aerith did say to Cloud when she said, "You can't fall in love with me." I felt right there that she knew the timeline, what was going to happen, what was going to be going on down the line. I feel like she knows something is going to happen, but we don't know what she knows. You know, that she knows something. Something's going to happen.
I just hope they know what they're doing with it. It's just, it's one of those games that if you mess up, it's going to be such a backlash from the fans.
Here's my word.
Yeah, I mean, either way, I'm gonna take it as it comes, you know, because we always have the original flood to play.
That's true.
So it's their baby. I mean, a lot of fans like it. I'm one of those fans. I feel like it's not like my child, but like, you know, it's like something that, like, I don't know the word to it. It's like my I guess it's like my baby, I guess, you know?
Yeah, because you grew up with it. So it's technically, it can be like your baby, because you did grow up with this.
Yeah, I hope they know what they're doing with it. Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, when they're on the highway, Clouds and Hardy Daytona, and they're riding, I was so amped up.
That was so good.
I was so amped. It was so
I was so happy for that.
Yeah, I was so, it was so good.
And then the part where, and then the part where Cloud comes out with the motorcycle, like in the remake, I'm like, this is everything I needed.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything I waited for years.
Right. It was
I remember on PS3, do you remember the tech demo they had for that? The original demo they had? Nah, it was just a demo. It wasn't a game. It was just like they were showing off the PS3's graphics. They had the Final Fantasy. Yeah. I can send it to you on Twitter too if you want to check that out.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to check that out. It's awesome.
You're someone who appreciate that. It's good. So I mean, a lot of people have been waiting years for that. I think, in your opinion, what game do you think? Maybe it doesn't have to be Final Fantasy. What do you think should? A lot of people think Legend of Dragoon and Chrono Trigger. What do you think should get the remake treatment in the future?
Oh my goodness. whenever I say it to friends, it's either like, yeah, let's get this remade, or we don't need a remake for it. One of my favorite Squaresoft games, next to Final Fantasy, is the Resident Evil series, and I would love so badly if they could remake the first game. Like, that first game, something about it, like, it taught me a lot of different medical terms, and just a lot about the human body, and just the combat was amazing, and the monster design was amazing. I would love to see that game get remade for sure.
I played it when I was young, but I didn't understand how it really worked.
Yeah,
so I never really went back and played it.
Yeah, that game was a lot to take in, so I totally understand. There's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of information. Like the whole mitochondria thing, it's like, what is that? So it's like I played. Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No
I'm
worries.
so excited, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Continue.
Yes, so that game, it was funny because my mom wanted to become a medical transcriptionist, and so I was playing that game in like the 90s. I looked through her medical books and what does this mean? What is that? Because there's a lot of medical terms that get thrown around in here, like so loosely that a lot of people who play that game don't even know what they're talking about. And it's like, what is this? What is that? These cells, like cultivating. Like I had to look into all of that, and then the more I looked into that, the more I appreciate the game a lot more. And so, yes, that's definitely a game I'd love to see.
I watched clips of it on YouTube. It takes place over one night, right? On New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve or something like that?
Yeah, Christmas Eve, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And,
it's the longest night ever.
love like stories and movies that take place over like a course of like just a night, which is like long. So like I don't know, like the aesthetic and like the way it's presented and like the way it just looks so good to me. I'm gonna pick it up in my Vita very soon because I like the way it like takes this. It's in New York City too. It's right. It's
New York
it's a real
City
setting, right? Mm-hmm. I like the way they take the real setting and then they add this parasite. I guess Eve is her name, right? She's the girl with the red dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like how they just add that. The extra. I don't know if it was really extraterrestrial, but the extra, the parasite storyline into it, and they kind of go that little extra bit from the realism. So I'm really excited to play it.
Mm-hmm. The music is also another part that's amazing. Like that soundtrack is like everything. I love it.
I'll have to check it out. It's usually I love it.
Yes, I think you'll appreciate this too.
Check it out. Like I love the Resident. I don't know. Have you played Resident Evil or Silent Hill?
I love both Resident Evil and Silent Hill. Like Silent Hill, I'm addicted to. I need another game to come out.
Oh, PT. So excited about PT.
Oh, I know, right? Oh, I miss PT.
If I'll ever forgive Konami unless they do a earth-shattering, groundbreaking Silent Hill release, I don't think I can forgive them.
Right.
Because me and Rain here actually love Silent Hill.
It is amazing. Oh, I love Silent Hill.
I think it's probably, I've never been scared like that. I don't think anything has scared me since before PT and after PT. Well, before PT was obviously Silent Hill 1 before I played. And after, nothing has ever scared me like Silent Hill has scared me.
Mm-hmm. Silent Hill definitely has its own kind of way of scaring you. Like it's a very psychological. Like they know what they're doing, and it's kind of like mind games. But the way they execute it, and especially 2 was the one that freaked me out the most. It's like they. Oh, sorry about that. What was that?
I got stories about Silent Hill 2. My God.
I would love to hear them. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's. Yeah, Silent Hill is definitely one of the special ones. Definitely one of the, I love Resident Evil as well, but I really have an affinity for Silent Hill and which was the game for I think it was a Dreamcast or I forgot what it was called. It's gonna start. Eternal Darkness. I love that game.
I've never played. I wanted to play.
It is so. It's wild. Like I'm not gonna give anything away, but there's a certain part of the game where you have a sandy meter, and the more messed up stuff you see,
it tells you like the power, and you're like your TV goes off, and like it messes with you like that. Right?
That messed me up for a day. I'm like, what'd you do to my TV? That is when I saw that, I'm like, that's actually really, really genius and awesome. I actually did that. Oh, I love horror games.
do I. Have you ever played? What's the name? Actually, I'll go back. I'll go back to that once I remember the name of the game I'm thinking of. But I was on the phone with Rain here one night. I was playing Silent Hill 2. It was late at night. I just got done making a sandwich. And I'm on the woodside apartments, and I'm just walking. And it's like 12 at night. On the phone with her, my dog's sitting by my side, and like I said, she got done making a sandwich. And I see a red glowing light, so I start running, and all of a sudden I see Pyramid Head. He's sitting behind the bars. I scream. My sandwich goes flying. My dog's barking. My mother's screaming. She's on the phone laughing. All the lights are going off. My sisters are yelling at me. The whole house is in an uproar, and I just lost my shit because he popped out on me. It was just... Pyramid Head does stuff to people. Like, he does things to people. He needs to stay behind those bars, not hear me. I lost my sandwich. It was a good piece. You lost it? You never found it? No, it went all over the place. Oh no. I think half of it was stuck on the wall because it was peanut butter and jelly, so... Oh no. The jelly slid down the wall, the peanut butter side was stuck. But Deadly Premonition, I think, is the game. Have you played that? I've heard of that one. I have not played that one though, but I heard a lot of good things about it. But, I mean, I heard it's like one of those so bad it's good games. I really want to play it. Yeah, I heard it was supposed to be. Oh, what's up, sorry? For hours. Oh, same here. I heard it was Deadly Premonition was based off of a show called Twin Peaks, and I love that show to death. Yeah, I have to see it. I just finally watched Penny Dreadful. No, not yet. It's like Ripper Street. That was a really good show too. How do you feel with Castlevania? The anime? Well, the game. I was gonna get in the anime after that. I played a bit of the games, but I feel bad I need to go back and play. I think I played the one where I think it was PS3 or PS4. It's called Lords of the something. I forgot which. Was it Shadows? Yeah, that one. I played that one. But I haven't played too much Castlevania. If you ever play Castlevania, everybody will probably tell you this. It's Symphony of the Night. It's amazing. It's so cool. The music is absolutely phenomenal. You play Alucard, Dracula's son. It's just phenomenal. That's awesome. My favorite era is probably the Super Nintendo, Sega, and then PS1. It's part of the PS1 era. It's just a phenomenal thing. So nice. I think you'll appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely want to check those out. I mean, we came to talk about Final Fantasy. We're talking about everything on the sun. Hey, that's okay. Video games are an amazing thing. I love video games. I love being able to do this and talk to people that actually influenced me, to do a podcast and that I looked up to. Just fantastic people like yourself. I never dreamed I'd be able to do this. So here it comes. Thank you. You're so welcome. Hey, no worries. You're very welcome. I actually have a lot of... I have to thank video games a lot because that's kind of what got me into voiceover. Just playing games and finding out that there's... I think Metal Gear Solid, the first one, that was the one that made me really want to try and pursue this career. It was the first game that I heard at the time that had full-on voice acting, and I'm like, oh, people actually voicing for video games. It's really cool. And I kind of wanted to get into that. I was curious about it ever since I started playing just video games. So I have a lot of thanks and praise for many video games. That's what kind of started my journey. I always wanted to get into acting, but I never really knew how to start, so I never really attempted to try. I started, what's better than talking to people that you looked up to and bring your favorite characters to life. I don't think there's anything, in my opinion, better. Meet people like yourself again. So I'm trying to think. What is your least favorite if you have a least favorite Final Fantasy game? I know we're jumping around. This might be a little controversial, and
I feel bad. Like, I need to give... It's like one of those games where I'm not crazy about it, but it's one of those games I need to go back and replay again just to kind of find out an appreciation for it. It's 12. I really, at the time when I played it, I did not... I just couldn't finish it. Yeah,
it's
so
very,
it's one of those...
very hard to get into.
Yeah, my sister, she played it in front of me a little bit, and I'm like, let me try and play this. So we were kind of taking turns playing this game. She loved it. I was like on the fence about it. But I feel like I need to just kind of play it again and just try to see if I can appreciate it from like a different lens.
Yeah, the battle system is very, it's not really, it's different for a single player game, but it's not different in the sense it's like it's basically a single player, like, a single player MMO, like a game you play on like the computer, like Final Fantasy 14 or Final Fantasy 11 or World of Warcraft.
Yeah.
So that's why, what I loved about it, when I started getting into it, I started doing the tactical stuff. I started setting up their moves. So as soon as I run into like an enemy, they automatically attack themselves. So you're just like annihilating these people, these enemies, and so it's like I'm just running around. Like it's just I don't know. I guess it's on I guess they just I forget what it's called. At least I can check. Sorry.
No worries.
Gambits, the Gambit system.
Yeah, that's what it was called. Yeah, the Gambit system. I almost forgot about that.
You just basically just plug into what you want your character to be able to do, like heal or attack or whatever. And they do it. That's what I started liking about it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I definitely don't blame you for that, because at first, like I said, it took me a while to get into it. With 15 too, I played 15 for a while. And it was kind of like 13. It didn't really. It was hard to keep. Well, 13 kept my attention at first, but it felt like I had to start trudging through it. Like I had to force myself to play it. Yes. Well, 15, it was hard. I enjoyed it, but like it was like some point it was hard to hold my attention, and I felt like I kind of had to like force myself to sit down and play it. Well, I went back like last month and I started playing it again. It's very, very. I have a very different opinion about it, and I really enjoy it. I have a different take on it.
Yeah, I was in the same boat with 15 when I first started playing it. I didn't know how I felt about it, but the more I played it, I started appreciating it more. And then when the DLC character stories came out, like for Ignis, that's when I was like, okay, I love this game. But it took me a while to really appreciate that.
I have to check out the
I recommend, this is my personal opinion, you don't have to follow it if you don't want to, but the one DLC that I recommend people play if they play 15 is the Ignis chapter. I think that is probably the best DLC in the side stories for FF2.
I like Ignis a lot.
Yeah, I do too. I think you'll love him a lot more after this DLC. A lot more appreciation for him.
The only thing I really have, not really bad to say, but my criticism of Final Fantasy 15 is they added all the other songs. I like that they added the older Final Fantasy songs into it, but the songs that are original to 15 are so great. Like the world map theme when you're wandering is so fantastic. I wish they, instead of adding the older songs from the original Final Fantasies, they kept going in the direction of having their own soundtrack to 15, because the original songs to 15 were so fantastic. I wish there was more to it instead of just having like the I'm not sure if the DLC has its own original music, but as you're driving, a lot of the music, you can buy. You can listen to the music. A lot of it is tracks from the original.
That's true.
This is a great conversation.
This is awesome. I love this.
You don't have any schedules or anything that you have to be going anytime, do you?
I might have to go in the next
10 minutes. About 10 more minutes, that's good, right?
Yeah, 10 more minutes is good, yeah.
That's right.
This is great. This is amazing. I love this talk. This is awesome. I love talking to you about video games.
I know this is probably one of my favorite podcast episodes. We had an amazing Pokemon episode.
Oh, nice.
A bunch of my friends on it. We all just were like just interviews.
That's
We're
awesome.
just talking about a lot of kind of gaming myths and stuff like that. And like myths and theories and stuff. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of the Squall is Dead theory and.
Yes, I have. I love stuff like that. I love like just looking into people's different theories on certain things. Like Air's still alive. Like I love looking at stuff like that because it's like I think about it like that more. You know, and it's kind of eye opening.
Are you familiar with game trailers? Before
Yes.
Do you ever watch Pop Fiction?
No, I haven't watched that.
I have to send you that whenever you want it. It's basically
Awesome.
it goes from like for instance, Grand Theft Auto, like the Bigfoot myth, like is it Bigfoot was actually in Grand Theft Auto? They do that. They do like the missing no. They do like the Mew Mew truck. Supposedly you move the truck and Mew was under it in the original Pokemon.
Ooh.
They have like the L is real. It's Luigi in the Super Mario 64 game. They have fantastic ones. So
You have to send me that because I love.
I'll do it right now.
This is gonna sound weird, but when I watch videos like that, I always wait until it's nighttime just to add more like an extra fact.
I make a whole playlist, and then I'll just get all comfy with my snacks, and then I'll just have like a playlist for hours. Cause I'm a night owl.
Exactly. Oh, me too. I stay up all like 3, 4, 5 a.m. And
I'll have my Vita or my DS right in my hands. I'll have them playing, and I'll just. I'm like a giant little kid.
I know. I feel you.
How about Kingdom Hearts? Are you a fan of Kingdom Hearts?
Love Kingdom Hearts. I absolutely love Kingdom Hearts.
Have you played the newer one? The
3?
the music one?
Oh no, I haven't played that one yet. I played Kingdom Hearts 3, but I haven't played the DLC for that or the music game for that one yet.
Have you played Theatrhythm? The Final Fantasy game?
Yeah, I love that game.
Like you do, like you play the music, it sounds like a Guitar Hero, but
Yeah.
you do Final Fantasy music.
Yeah, I love that game.
Hello?
Hey, hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, you're good now.
Sorry. Something happened with my volume.
Oh no. Sorry about that.
No, it wasn't. It was my computer. Yeah, I loaded the YouTube thing, and I started blaring in my ears, and like I closed the thing, and sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
But yeah, Theatrhythm. I didn't hear you. Have you played those?
Yeah, I have played Theatrhythm. I loved it a lot. I enjoyed that game a lot.
There's a Dragon Quest one game. West.
What's that? Hopefully it'll come in the West in the near future, hopefully.
Have you played Dragon Quest at all?
I haven't, but I've heard a lot of my friends enjoy it. Like the recent one that just came out, they like that one a lot.
But if you were going to start, I'd probably start with 8. It's basically the Final Fantasy VII of Dragon Quest.
Oh, nice.
But it's the music in that too. I know you appreciate from talking about you appreciate
Awesome. Yeah, I love a good soundtrack.
Listen to the playlist of the Pop Fiction. The YouTube playlist for Sunday morning.
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Every episode we have a special outro theme, and yours is I don't know if you're familiar with Underneath the Rotting Pizza. It's the themes of the slums.
Oh yeah, that's right.
We're gonna have that as our outro.
Awesome.
Just for you.
Oh, thank you. Awesome, that's great.
So anything else that you like to add? say to the fans or anything before we end?
I want to say to the fans, thank you for all of the support. Thank you for playing FF7 and hopefully having fun with it, because I had a lot of fun playing this game. And it was great talking to you. Great talking to you today.
Thank you so much for coming on to the podcast.
You're so welcome.
Absolute. I don't even know the perfect word, but you're an absolute pleasure to have on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
We're just amazing to talk to, and just hopefully we can have you on again. That would be an absolute. You were probably one of my favorite, actually probably my favorite guests. You're just so down to earth and just an amazing person and an amazing talent with your voice acting. And like I said, I hope we can have you on again.
I thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much. I had so much fun being on here, and I'd love to come back in the future and talk about more video games. I can talk about games for hours. It's kind of crazy.
I know we go back to the slums in the future installments, in the future discs of Final Fantasy VII. So hopefully we do get to see your character again.
That would be awesome.
To Midgar, and again, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. It was a great pleasure, and hopefully we can set something up again.
Of course.
I'll be in contact with you on Twitter. If I find anything that you like or enjoy, I'll definitely send it your way.
Thank you so much. I greatly appreciate that.
Thank you. So, Bros and Moogals, we will be seeing you on next week's episode. So, thank you for listening, and Kid Kupo out.